Greetings, this is Tim Johnston, Recovery, Strength, Hope and Courage. How to stop drinking alcohol and taking opiates after 30 years of addiction. It's taken me 9 months and the sort of dust has settled now, and I'm loving my recovery and I'm loving life, as most of you know have been following me. After many years of relapsing and rehab and Suboxone for 2 years, counselling, psychiatry, etc., I finally found a way. This is the longest I've been clean now of any mind-altering substance, opiates and alcohol, for my whole adult life. And I want to share with you how I did that, how I've done that this time, and what's different for me in effect. And I've made videos about conquering fear of withdrawal. I've made videos about withdrawal. Please look back at them because I'm not going to focus too much on that. I'm going to focus on how to get through this. I'm not going to go through all the symptoms of withdrawal and whatever. How to get through this in the best way and how I've been successful this time. Now, it won't suit everybody. Some of you want Suboxone and will want to taper. Some of you want to taper off whatever substance you're on, and alcohol as well if you're a particularly heavy drinker. Some of you will want to go to the doctor. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional. This is all from my own experiences, but it's been totally successful for me this time. And I'm 56, and if I can do it at 56, after 30 years of this shit, then I'm sure that you can do it as well. A lot of this is about a mindset and about positivity and planning. And that's what I'm going to try and put across today. And this is, I hope it'll be helpful for you. And those of you who are on Suboxone and whatever your circumstances are, can use lots of elements of this to get through and get off this treadmill. Because I liken my drinking and drug use was like being on a hamster wheel, going round and round and round. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. Just use drinking as an example, well, both pills and drinking as an example, but drinking in particular, wake up in the morning, withdrawing, shaking, vomiting blood, doing whatever, feeling like shit, couldn't even get out of bed half the time. Drink quarter to half a bottle of vodka just to get myself out of bed and make myself feel better, to stave off the withdrawal symptoms long enough to get down to the shops to get another bottle and a half of vodka, to carry on through the day. Wasn't getting high or drunk or anything, just maintaining myself so I wouldn't be in withdrawal. What a life. I was dying, and I was in a shit state, mentally, physically, spiritually, in every way. So something had to change. And it was the same with the pills, the same routine, down to the chemist, because you could buy tramadol here. Although I've had issues with all sorts of opiates over the years, including heroin, tramadol was what I was on here, taking a lot of it, and it was available from the pharmacy. So same thing, warding off withdrawal, never high, killing myself basically. So yeah, that's why, that's what this is all about. How did I get off that hamster wheel, and how can you get off the hamster wheel that you're on? So we're all different. At the end of the day, it's all about attitude. You've got to ask yourself what's stopping you. Because you always make excuses as an addict. I know I did. You might be masking emotions. You might have gone through all sorts of shit in your life, and I really sympathise with you because I know I went through a shit childhood. You can blame that. You can blame the fact you're susceptible. It's in your family. It's this, that, and the other. But they're all excuses at the end of the day. It's only you can stop. It's only you. It's your choice. And you can blame and use these excuses as much as you like till you're blue in the face. But at the end of the day, it's only you that can make that decision to stop and stop blaming. Fear as well as another one. I made the video on fear. Please look back at it. Conquering the fear of withdrawal, etc., and recovery. You might be afraid of living life straight. You might be afraid of feeling your emotions. You might be afraid of the withdrawal, and many of us are. It is brutal. There's no getting around that, but you've got to go through it to detox your body. You've become dependent on a substance. For whatever reason you've become dependent, it might be because you've been prescribed it by a doctor and you've suddenly found it can mask the various pain and emotions that you're feeling, spiritual, mental or physical pain. It might be because you're hiding from the world and you're hiding from yourself and you can't face anything and you're afraid. Whatever reason, you've got to know what those reasons that you've got to get through that. You've got to get through that. So this is my experience, because the worst day in recovery is a billion times better than the best day you have in addiction. And I can guarantee that. I can guarantee it for you. And those of you who've watched my videos will know how much my life has changed, for the better. So the first thing you have to ask yourself before you go into this is, why you're doing it. Why do you want to stop? Because, if you're stopping for somebody else, if you're in the shit at work and your boss is asked you to stop, no good. If your family's intervened and asked you to stop, it's no good. My daughter intervened 2 years ago, my eldest daughter, when I went home for Christmas from Spain, and I was shaking like a leaf, vomiting. I was bloody ill because I was withdrawn to go. I was withdrawing going there because I didn't want to drink or take drugs in front of them. And I was in a shit state. She was in tears, begging me. She said, "Dad, I don't want you to die." She said, "Dad, I want you to see me married, and I want you to see me have grandchildren and play with them." It didn't stop me. Can you believe that? It didn't stop me. I'd carried on for nearly another year before I found the strength and the courage and the reason to stop. It has to be about you. You were selfish in addiction. You need to be selfish going into this. In as much, when I say selfish, because your family and your friends and all your boss and all the rest of it will get all the benefits of your recovery. That'll all come. You'll see all these things, and you'll be back with your family, and you'll hopefully rebuild relationships and stuff. But stopping has got to be about you. You've got to find a strong enough reason. That might be the doctors told you you're dying if you don't stop. You're really ill. You've got cirrhosis of the liver. You've got whatever you've got. That might be a strong enough reason to stop you, but it's for you because you want to get healthy again. Now, for me, I do want to see. Of course, I want to see my grandchildren. Of course, I want to see my daughter married. Both my daughters married. But it's for me. I want dignity. I want them to look at me with dignity, self-respect. I want a future. I'm 57 years old, and I want a future. I wanted a future, and it was strong, and that was a really powerful enough reason to stop me. So it's got to be about you. You've got to stop. For you. You really want to stop for you. You want to get off that hamster wheel. Have you had enough of this? Do you not want to live like this anymore? This is this simple question you've got to ask yourself. Because there's only one way you can go with this if you carry on, and that's destroy everything around you and be on your own or die. Simple choice. So it's up to you, isn't it? Don't make excuses. So I think about 90% of this, I believe now totally, and some of you won't agree with this, but not for me, and I'll read how I got through it. 90% of this is positive and a positive mental attitude, and it's the last thing you've probably got going into this. You need to reprogram your brain, give yourself a positive mental attitude. You need to become an optimist, not a pessimist. There's no point being a pessimist. What's the point of being a pessimist? What is the point? Someone said that an optimist is someone who sees the opportunity in every difficulty, and a pessimist is someone who sees the difficulty in every opportunity. And you need to see the opportunities in this. You need to see, the positivity in it. So you need to go into this with a positive mental attitude. And in your mind, because it is very difficult to solve a problem with the same mind that caused the problem in the first place, and it's your mind that's caused this. It's you that's caused this. No one else. You can't blame anyone else for this. Don't care what you say. It's your fault. You've done this to yourself. Your choice to put it in your mouth. Your choice to stop, or whatever you're putting it. So the same brain, the same mentality that you've got in addiction can't be the one you take forward into withdrawal and recovery. You've got to become an optimist and a pessimist. I can do this. I will do this. I've got strong enough reasons to do this. I want this badly. I can taste it. I want it so much. So I'll read you this little mantra here, and it's quite brutal, but it's what I said to myself 50 times a day, 100 times a day in recovery. And eventually this becomes a reality in your brain, and this is going into and during, and into recovery as well. Don't make excuses, putting it off, complaining about it, crying about it, believing you can't, worrying if you can, waiting till you're stronger, braver, sicker, better. Suck it up, hold on tight, say a prayer, make a plan, and just do it. just do it. That's what it's all about, because you can cogitate and spin things around and intellectualize and make excuses till you're blue in the face. But this is about you. You need to do it. Just do it. So the second part of it, because attitude's a little thing that makes a massive difference. The second part of it is planning. Planning, you need to plan for this. You can't just suddenly stop, because you may need to see a doctor. There's some of you. I mean, I've heard of seizures with heavy drinking. I used to worry about that. And believe me, nearly 2 bottles of vodka or 4 litres of wine a day for Christ knows how long. I was worried, but I never had a seizure. And I've read up on this. But if you're worried, I'm not a doctor, so go to the doctor. But he's only going to prescribe you something like diazepam or something like that, which is another addiction. So it's up to you. I'm not saying don't, but I didn't. So planning, you need 14 days at least to do this. Get yourself a notepad and a book to write things down. 14 days is the minimum. You need about 7 days to plan. You need about 7 days to get through the detox or getting rid of the shit from your body. So give yourself 14 days. You might need to take 14 days off work. You might need to organise someone to look after children for 14 days. Whatever it is, then where are you going to do it? Are you going to do it at home? If you're lucky enough to have a home, are you going to do it with the family around you if they're supporting you? Brilliant, because that's fantastic. If they're supporting you, more support, the better. Have you got everything you need at home in that respect? Yes. I had the flat here, but I was in touch with my family, knew about it, and I was in touch every day by phone in case there was a problem. So that's important, so bear that in mind. Now, you've been putting shit into your body for years probably, because I'm a chef, I've got no excuse. And I know when I was in massive, addiction on opiates and alcohol, then I wouldn't eat properly. I'd just eat shit and junk because I was lazy. I didn't feel like doing anything. Sometimes I'd go 3 days without eating. Just pig out on shit, crisps or whatever it was, just junk food basically. So your body is crying out for nutrition, and it'll need good nutrition during the withdrawal. And however you feel, and you're not going to feel like eating, you're not going to feel like producing food, you've got to get stuff down you. Now the point is, what I did, plan this down, get your list of ingredients, a healthy, nourishing. During that first 7 days, get all this down on paper. Buy everything you need for this withdrawal. Get everything you need. Make a massive shopping list. Then you can produce during the week before you start the detox. You can produce nourishing soups and blend them down. Is what I did with loads of fresh vegetables in them and chicken stock and stuff like that. Stews. You get loads of fresh fruit and vegetables that you can eat raw if necessary in your fridge. You make these soups, you make these stews, you get them in the freezer, so you've got like daily nourishment you can just take out, microwave, and get down you, because you've got to force yourself to eat during this withdrawal and get nourishment, because it's going to start building your body. Get out and get your supplements, really strong, good B vitamins, cod liver oil, magnesium. All this stuff's on my other videos about withdrawal. But it's all got to be planned. Get it on the list. Plan. So you know exactly what you're doing before you go into it. Get yourself entertainment, videos, DVDs. You're not going to sleep. You're going to have insomnia. Meditation videos, sleep videos, all on YouTube, easy to get hold of. Get yourself into the use of meditation. I meditate and do affirmations daily now in my recovery. Brilliant. Talk about that in the second video on early recovery. So plan nutrition, plan entertainment, plan meditation, plan your start of the day habits. Start getting into this habit when you go into withdrawal, start your day. Getting a couple of pints of water down you with some lemon juice squeezed in it is what I do to start my day, warm water. Don't put anything in your body for an hour after that, but you make sure you're hydrated. That's the most important thing. And then your routines, maybe your affirmations, your bits and pieces, get yourself into start getting into a healthy routine. Ignore the voice in your head. That's another one you need to program into your brain, because that voice in your head will tell you that you're feeling so shit and so ill in withdrawal. You've got money in your pocket. You don't need a trip down the shops. One pill, one drink will stop it. It's nagging away at your head. Tell it to fuck off. And I've said this before in other videos. You've got to be strong. You've got to have this positivity, this positive mental attitude. There's no point going in